Hey, I'm Nick Rollo. I'm a producer and mix engineer from Australia. I hope you're doing well. Today, I'm going to go over some of the pros and cons of using Spotify playlists to grow your music. I know a lot of people are constantly kind of weighing this up. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? So I just thought I would give my thoughts on the matter, hopefully help you out. Before we get into the video, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. It helps me out a ton. If you have any questions related to, being an artist, making music, producing music, any of that stuff, comment below. I will try to help you out as best as I can. Let us get into the video. So as we know, Spotify playlists kind of dominate the music world. They're very important in the current ecosystem. They can have so much influence over how your song does, how your artist's career does. It's important for sure. The real question is though, should you pay for Spotify playlists? Should you put the time in to actually pitch for Spotify playlists? It's a good question. I'm going to go over the pros and cons, then give some kind of summary. So first up, the pros. So really like the two main things, well, I guess there's three main things that you'd either be doing. You'd either be pitching via Spotify playlists, you'd be running Facebook ads or Instagram ads or Google ads, or you would be doing organic growth, such as like making TikToks and YouTube videos and Instagram stuff. Or I guess fourth, organically pitching it to people in person and playing shows. Those are like the four options. Obviously, you can do kind of a combination of all of the above. But assuming you're only going to be doing one of those things, which is pitching for playlists, it doesn't require as much time and expertise as running Facebook ads. Facebook ads can be super effective. However, it does require some understanding of the platforms and also like your audience and how to run ads and how to market and make creative. All of that stuff is kind of hard to get your head around. So if you need results quickly, this can be really good because it doesn't require all of that knowledge and understanding going into it. Second, you can build ongoing relationships with playlist curators if you're pitching to them. So you find their playlist in their email and you go, "Hello, I'm Nick." You back and forth with them, and maybe when you release the next song, they immediately add it because they know who you are. This also kind of works if you're running a playlist yourself, because what you can do is playlist trading. You go up to somebody who has a playlist and you say, "Hey, if you put my song in, I'll put one of your songs in." So that's incentive to create playlists, but that can be really effective. Using services like Playlist Push or I guess Submit Hub, or there's a bunch of different services that do it. It can be super convenient if you have the money because you don't actually have to do anything aside from make the song, release the song, put the song into the system, and then just shoot it off. Like Playlist Push in particular is super easy because you don't actually need to specify who you're hitting the song to. All you say is like, these are the genres, these are the artists. It sounds like makes it super convenient, really easy if you don't want to think about it. You don't want to hassle. You can just go, off, handball it off. I don't have to deal with that anymore. Like that's really great if you're just trying to focus on the creative side of stuff. If the audiences are correct, and by correct, what I mean is the playlist that you put your lo-fi song into, for example, is a lo-fi playlist that the listeners like lo-fi and it doesn't have random other songs in it, then it can be great for building Spotify like algorithm data and also just getting streams and making sure the fans of the music are listening to your song, and they might therefore be converted into fans themselves. This can be really effective because playlists can get you so many streams, especially if you're in good playlists and for a long time. The key here though is that the data is correct, that you're not in a rock playlist if you make lo-fi music. And this kind of brings me on to the cons of using Spotify playlists. It can be very expensive, like both if you're pitching yourself to certain Spotify playlists, because they might be like, "Hey, $50 for us to actually include your song." That is shady. I don't think you're supposed to do that. I don't recommend doing that. But using services like Playlist Push and all of the other things, Playlist Push is just top of mind right now. But like that, it's expensive. Like you do pay quite a lot of money to get in front of these playlists, and hopefully it means like a higher success rate, but it's definitely not cheap. And they have fixed amounts. You can't spend $10. You have to spend a couple $100. So that's not necessarily great if you don't have the budget for it. It might also be expensive if you're trying to find the playlist curator information using like Chartmetric or something. Like those services can be pretty pricey too, so you do have to pay a pretty penny, but I mean, it can be worth it. I'm doing a lot with my hands today. As I said before on the last pro point, if the playlist has heaps of different songs from heaps of different genres, like it'll probably mess up your algorithm. I experienced this myself with my artist project, and it was a bummer. I had the fans also listen to, and I was getting, Discover Weekly and algorithm stuff, and then it just stopped because I used the service and it pitched it to a few playlists that were huge and got me a ton of streams, but it was just not at all in the right genres. It was like really, really broad and had tons of different genres. And it took like 2 years or something to get that algorithmic data back because it threw it out so much. So that's a pretty big concern of mine, is like you really just want to make sure that whatever you're getting pitched for, it is actually the right genre. Like I promise it'll mess up everything if you don't. So just make sure that to the best of your control, make sure that it's not getting pitched to the wrong genres. It can have bad listener data if it's botted or they're using shady types of techniques to actually get listeners as opposed to just advertising the playlist and getting organic traffic. That stuff I've heard can get your account banned on Spotify. It also just, can mess up the algorithms again if they're not particularly catered to your right audience. So keep that in mind. The final major con that I can really think of right now is that playlists require you to rely on other people to put you on. If you run Facebook ads, you have some amount of control there. You can say, I want to target these kind of people and these kind of people. Playlists, you can obviously target the playlist that you're pitching to or the service that is pitching the playlist, but you're really relying on gatekeepers to say, yes, I'm going to put you on, buddy, and then they put you in the playlist. Obviously, it's super rewarding if they do. You don't have a ton of control, though. I personally think it's part of a more complex system system where you have not just playlists, but you have ads and other things happening as well, so that it becomes this, you're not just relying on one person to say yes or one group of people. You have other systems in place to also get streams just in case those people say no, if that makes any sense. So in conclusion, what have we learnt today? Playlists are important, and playlists can be incredibly successful and rewarding as an artist. They can get you streams, they can really push you forward, and they're really convenient if you're using certain services or just pitching to playlist curators. You can just put aside an afternoon of 3 hours and write emails. It's not too hard, it's pretty easy. The issues are that it can be expensive and it can be hard to actually cater what audiences you're getting, as well as having bots and relying on other people. I think you should use playlists. It's up to you whether you want to use like a service that you pay a lot of money to pitch, or you just want to pitch yourself. Obviously pitching yourself takes more time, but it can be more catered. Getting somebody else to do it is more expensive, but you have way more time available to do other stuff. I think you should definitely use playlists, and I think you should also use ads and organic growth as well, because I think, as I said, all of these things just kind of meld together to create a really good strategy. But don't get too caught up on one thing. Sometimes songs just don't playlist well, but they do really well with ads, or they go viral on TikTok or whatever service you're using, and that can be how you get your streams. So I hope you found this enlightening. I hope it gave some points away. I think, you probably already knew that Spotify playlists are good, but I hope this showed a balanced view of them. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe. Also, if you're a pop artist or singer or a hip-hop artist and you need music made and you need your songs produced and mixed, I am a producer and mix engineer. There's contact details below. I'd love to work with you. And have a good day. I'll chat soon.